Almost figured it out this time.
This time,
And then
they're not gonna. Oh shit!
2 years later, I've almost figured it out this time. I'm almost there. I've almost figured it out this time.
I've almost got it. I've almost
Folks,
got
she
it.
didn't figure it out.
Spoiler alert. Figuring it out, lame.
Figuring it out hasn't
Fingering it
happened.
out, cool.
Hey, just go home and figure it out.
Just go home and figure it out, okay?
Hey, listen, I need you to figure this out right now.
I need you to figure this out.
Some frantic violinist just being like... "Boop, boop, boop,
Just
boop."
like, I'm trying. I'm trying.
All right, so, hey, this is what I have for our little icebreaker, which...
Yeah,
we'll go on for a little because I think it's really funny.
Incredible.
It's a story from ABC News about a arson attack in Bondi,
Oh.
right? And this guy, Saeed Musawi, right?
Okay.
First, he's on Signal. He's got the username James Bond.
Got it.
He texts an associate, says, I got something good lined up, right? To an
Okay.
associate. His associate and a co-accused, so another associate, these two guys that Syed has paid, James Bond, they're two white guys.
Yeah.
They go to Curly Lewis Brewer on Bondi.
Got it.
On October 15th, they have their faces covered, they're carrying objects, and then someone like sees them and calls 000 and they run away and they're spooked. So Mr. Musawi texts, "Use both fail, the test can't do one small thing. You make me look stupid in front of my mate," right?
Damn.
So then a day later, the two white guys, along with two more guys, they meet up with James Bond. And he's like, all right, I'll give you $4,000 if you set fire to these premises. And so they are meant to go to Lewis's Continental Kitchen, but they accidentally go to something on the other side of the street called Curly Lewis Brewing Co., a completely different business. And they set fire to the front door, which is extinguished. Later that day, James Bond allegedly sent a text to Finnegan saying, "Yous are fucking the whole thing now. If yous fucking couldn't do it from the start, then why did yous even went there for fuck me? It's not even done. 2% burned. Fuck me dead." After this, right, the cops have got text messages where they set fire to the place, and then after, the two guys are texting each other. It's like, "I'm starting to think he has sent us to the wrong place, lol." Eventually, Mr. Musawi then got in contact with someone who did successfully burn down the place.
Oh, good. I'm glad he finally got it sorted. It's so hard to get good help these days.
Yeah,
That's so fucking
two
funny.
failed attempts. If yous are fucking
You fucked it up. Not even 2% burnt.
wrong place.
That's
He's like,
so
it's the wrong
funny.
place. You didn't even burn it right.
A, you didn't go to the right location, and B, you can't even set a fire? Like, what's wrong with you?
This is a like Syrian who's been here for 20 years paying two white guys. Oh, Siri, don't listen to me. And then people are just like, well, who's paying this Syrian guy?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, surely he had better people to pick from, but maybe he didn't. Maybe this was just all he had was just these two dipshits.
Well, like, it's not a bad life here in Australia. It's gonna take, like, if you have $4,000 to give someone to burn down a building, most people aren't gonna take that.
No,
That's not enough money for most people.
no. I would need at least another digit on that before I would even consider it.
You're only getting a very small subset of people, which is what has been a lot of these cases of arson and stuff have been like usually like a poor white person.
Just being like, yeah, I need the cash, I'll set fire to something, I don't give a
I'll
fuck.
set fire to something, I don't give a fuck. It's like, damn. Anyway.
Can you read out that text again for me? Because I really, really liked it.
Yeah, of course. Yous fucking the whole thing now? If yous fucking couldn't do it from the start, then why did yous even went there for? Fuck me. It's not even done. 2% burn. Fuck me, Dad.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
You want to read it?
I love it. I love it. If you fucking couldn't do it from the start, then why did you even went there for? Fuck me. It's not even done. 2% burnt. Fuck me dead. That's just so funny.
Fuck me, Dad.
Fuck me dead is always such a good fucking thing to say.
Just like you're in the wrong place. You couldn't even burn the wrong place.
Truly, truly iconic.
Horrible bosses, am I right?
I mean, you know, people are entitled to their sexual proclivities. You know, I mean, let there be 1,000 blossoms bloom. But I ain't spending any time on it. But I ain't spending any time. But I ain't spending any time. Let there be 1,000 blossoms bloom. But I ain't spending any time.
Hi, Yanni.
Hi, Karen.
It's my episode today.
Hey, I love a Karen episode. We just get to enjoy what that beautiful brain has cooked up for us.
Yeah, gosh, let's see how it's cooking up in there. What have I roasted up for you?
Kieran's been roasting the last 2 days.
A broiled thought, yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for this broiled thought.
I hope you're ready for this broiled thought.
All right, broil it, baby.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Hi, everyone. This is Shouldn'ta.
Yeah.
I doubt this is the first episode you're ever listening to, but if it is, hey, what's up?
No,
we're a podcast about Australia, I guess, and...
I tell 2 new people a week to listen to the podcast.
Damn, okay.
Yeah,
if this is your first episode, then sorry for the intro.
Word of mouth is just word of my mouth.
Perfect. That's exactly what it needs to be.
Exactly. So welcome to all our new listeners.
Welcome, new listeners.
People I've run into.
There we go. Yanni, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What's your favorite invention of all time?
Look, lately I've been really thinking it's the pallet and pallet jack.
Do you think the pallet and the pallet jack?
I'm just really impressed by how nifty they are. Once you've got the electronic pallet jacks that go up as well, it's you can do a lot with this.
That is a really good one, actually. That's a really good invention.
The pallet and the pallet jack. That's what I'm vibing right now.
That's what you're vibing right now.
Yeah, instinctually.
Well, I have one thing to say to you.
Yeah.
Un-Australian!
I'm so upset.
You are
that
so
you called
un-Australian.
Me that. You couldn't even. I've been here my whole life.
Because today we're talking about Australian inventions.
Oh my god. Well, this will be a lot of fun.
So what you should have said, Yanni...
Is Australian inventions.
Well, yes. What you should have said was one of the many Australian inventions that we're going to be talking about today.
Yes.
Now, any international visitor knows that Australians love making shit up. But did you know some of the stuff made up here is actually important? Or, if not important, at least cool? Or, if not cool, at least boxed wine?
Hey, if you can't be good, just be goon.
Exactly. I've selected a handful of Australian inventions that I found to be actually surprising or interesting.
Yes.
I'm sure many Aussie ankle biters have grown up hearing about the invention of the Hills hoist, the cochlear implant, and Wi-Fi, but what about something a little bit less known?
Yeah, those were... Hills hoist was running through my head. I'm glad you said it early because I was like, we need to say Hills hoist.
We have to say Hills hoist. Let's begin sometime 5 to 50,000 years ago.
Nice.
Yanni, please give a warm welcome to the Woomera.
Oh yeah, are these also known as boomsticks?
I don't know. I don't believe so.
I don't believe. I think that's just shotguns.
I think that might just be shotguns. So.
Oh, that looks sick.
Yeah, I'll get you to describe this in a moment, but basically. For those listening, a woomera is an Australian Aboriginal spear throwing device, and it seems to work in a similar way to one of those plastic sticks with a cup on the end for throwing, a ball for your dog.
Mm.
Usually made of bark, a woomera would be crafted to be the length of the thrower's forearm, and it would have a hook on the opposite end where it is held for the butt of the spear to be notched into. And the purpose of it is to increase the force and distance of a spear throw. So the spear is mounted on the woomera, which then becomes an extension of the arm and allows for a faster movement than a spear could be thrown by hand alone. I couldn't find a more authoritative source on this fact other than a 20-year-old Sydney Morning Herald article, but apparently the woomera could generate enough force to propel a spear 4 times faster than a modern compound bow.
Yeah, it's like turning the whole body into the mechanics of a bow.
Yeah, I've got a video for you as well, which I'll just open up. I was meant to put the link in, but then I didn't.
Well, the picture I'm seeing is a gorgeous, I assume indigenous man with a really big handlebar mustache, and he's basically got, if you can imagine, a little mount for a spear that he's holding above his head, as though he's going to throw with 2 hands. He's kind of guiding it with his left and powering it with his right or his backhand, and he's got a fin almost, or a paddle that the spear is mounted in, and that's the woomera, and it's just it's a human bow.
Yeah, check this shit out.
All right, so Karen's handed me a phone to show me a video. So holy shit, it just disappeared. It looked fake, it looked kind of like AI. He kind of just he throws it with nowhere near what looks like his maximum force. He kind of, it's like the jog to a throw's run, what he does.
Yes.
And it just disappears. The spear just disappears into the fucking forest like he shot it out of a cannon.
It's super cool, right? So, basically, in the images that I've got on the PowerPoints, if you can see them, you can see that up the top there is a hook, basically, that the spear kind of gets shoved into to kind of hold it. And then you kind of wind your arm back and you throw that, and the force of it just like shoots it straight
Yeah.
out way faster than you could do it if you were just throwing it with like, because it's functionally adding like another like joint and forearm to your body.
Arm, yeah.
So instead of just having like, shoulder, elbow,
Yeah.
you now have like shoulder, elbow, and then like, I guess a theoretical second elbow in which like you have another forearm that kind of like flings it.
Yeah.
Hard to describe, but it's super cool.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think. I think you're exactly right in that the plastic dog thrower thing.
Yeah.
Is that's it certainly
modern
feels like
analogous kind of
the
like
shape
thing.
of what's happening with a much smaller projectile and much longer arm.
Yes.
So if you imagine like much heavier thing and you have a small little dog thrower.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's not an uncommon concept, and there are some examples of Woomera-like devices across the globe to enhance spear or projectile throwing. But Australian Woomeras were also multi-purpose. Some were more rounded and bowl-like, so they could be used for carrying food or other resources. Some had sharpened stone attached to the end for cutting or as like another type of weapon. And some were broad and flat and could be used as a shield as well. In general, it seems the variety was regionally themed and based on necessity, which makes sense. If this is a tool you're carrying around, you want to kind of do multiple things, right?
Yeah.
The date range for the Woomera's creation is broad for a few reasons. One, because it's not like there were patents being filed about it and Shark Tank didn't exist yet. And two, while researchers have only been able to trace evidence of Woomeras from roughly like 5,000 years ago, there has also been possible evidence of specific use injury to the Mungo man's elbow, indicative of Woomera usage. And he was preserved in Lake Mungo like 43,000 years ago.
Yeah. And fucking John Mulvaney's just got him in his fucking suitcase. So somewhere between 5 and 50,000, years ago is the oldest we can definitely date it. But like they're made of wood as well, so they just will disappear.
Exactly. Like it's not. They
like,
weren't made to last for tens of thousands of years, funnily enough.
It doesn't fossilize the same way, probably. No. I really like them. The fact that it's a weapon that can also be used defensively reminds me of when you have a gun in a game that also has a little shield on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what this is. This is a gun with a shield.
Oh, man, these guys invented Borderlands.
Yeah. The Woomera is an early piece of technology that actually does blow my mind. Like the use of what we would think of as like modern scientific principles to like enhance the velocity of like what we consider an ancient weapon is super cool. Right?
Yeah.
Like, and I love seeing the video. Hopefully we'll be able to get a clip of it in there. I love seeing the video of the guy using it as well. Because I was like, oh shit.
He moves so casually.
Yeah. And at first I looked at it and I was like, I don't understand how this works. Like, what does this do? And then when he did it and I was like, oh shit. Yeah. It's basically like you have a slingshot kind of, but it's like a slingshot, but it's also like lacrosse. Or like those other kind of like...
It's kind of like lacrosse.
Sports where it's like you've got a thing and you hurl it. Like, it's really,
just
really interesting.
Rather
Lacrosse
than
javelin.
a ball, it's lacrosse javelin.
Yeah.
And that should be in the Olympics.
That would be fucking sick.
I think every primary school age male in Australia
should have a Woomera.
Should have a Woomera.
And yeah, I reckon whoever made the first Woomera was like absolutely like that's the big man of his like community.
You reckon he's
Everybody's just like, holy shit, this guy's a genius.
He's the greatest inventor perhaps that's ever walked this earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they also have like designs on them as well.
They
and
have
that'll also be like regionally themed and like specific to groups and stuff. So if someone loses a Woomera, you can look at it and be like, this is like so and so.
This is from this place, this is from that place. They're just really cool.
All right. Now we're off to a more corrupted Australia.
Oh no.
And what's more corrupt than an election?
I smell bullshit, it must be an election, yeah.
Yanni, describe to me how voting on election day works.
Just to clarify, like the process of me going to vote or what the mechanics of the voting system are?
Like, what happens when you, as a voter...
Go to vote. I go to usually like a primary school, sometimes a church. Mm-hmm. There's thousands of people there. We're in a line. Sometimes there's less people there. We just walked in and out one time in Radford College. If you're there past like the very opening, there'll be a sausage sizzle there where you can perhaps purchase a sausage for $1. Now it's $5, and in my youth it used to be $1.
And they got to put the onions on the bottom.
And then you get taken into a room when you tell them your name, and they're like, "Huh, how do you spell that?" I don't know if anyone...
Painfully relatable for the two of us.
I don't know if everyone could relate. And then you go into a little wooden cardboard box thing. You go into a little cardboard box thing with a pencil tied to something, and then you put some numbers and check boxes on pieces of paper, and you give them to another old fuck. And he takes them to the Prime Minister and tells him who's in charge.
All right, well, did you know that all of that you've just described was invented in Australia?
Oh, we would.
Not the democracy part. I'm pretty sure Greeks did that.
Like not voting as an idea.
Exactly. But the whole don't tell anybody your vote thing,
What?
which is a big part of that.
Silent voting. You're saying Australia invented the secret ballot? No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
I can't. Oh God, is this some technicalities? Surely someone else had like a system of voting where you didn't know who was voting.
Vaguely, I'll get to that.
Okay.
But this is like...
All right, fine. Australia invented the secret ballot. Congratulations. Make him fuck the secret ballot. Fucking let everyone know who voted One Nation. Make them wear it on their shirts.
You'll like this then. Prior to the mid-1800s, the way you would participate in an election is to write your preferred candidate's name on a piece of paper, give that paper to an official, and then out loud announce the person you were voting for.
Oh.
Which, mind you, was being done mostly in pubs or other major gathering points. And a lot of the time there were briberies, physical altercations, and
Yeah, it's like threats and stuff.
Yeah, and funnily enough, they would also do, this is something you'd be a fan of, they would also be doing up to the hour counting and announcing the results every hour.
So there's no reason to do this. I find that so infuriating.
And often what would happen is, for example, let's say that the guy you want to win is losing, right? And it's midday and he's behind.
You're going to find a bunch of people.
You might decide at that point, because you're in a pub and you're getting belligerent, you might decide that you're just going to beat the shit out of everyone who doesn't vote for him.
Yeah, yeah.
For the rest of the day.
I can see how that would be a problem, and it does put a spanner in my proposal.
Yeah.
However, I am saying it gets revealed the next day.
Fair. It was in 1855, however, that this would change. William Nicholson, a member of the Victorian Legislative Council, submitted a bill in Parliament proposing that voting should be done in secret, thereby reducing the risks of brawls, coercion, and other election day tomfoolery.
Yeah, and that was the legal term back then.
Tomfoolery, yes. Although facing some opposition from old heads who liked how elections were, the bill was passed the following year, just in time for the next election.
Perfect.
Perfect timing. Another member of the council, Henry Chapman, came up with the idea that the government would provide a slip of paper with all the candidates' names on it, which the voter could then cross out, leaving the person they'd like to vote for as the only one still there.
The thing that we get, the sheet of paper.
Exactly.
And they named Chapman after him for that.
I imagine so.
Wow.
The process would work as follows. First, the voter would arrive at a polling station and have their name crossed off of the electoral roll. They would then be given a ballot paper and would be moved to a private room to strike off the names of the candidates he didn't support. Then he would fold up his vote and put it into a locked box, which is basically the process that we have now.
Yeah, that's exactly...
The only difference is they were like, well, it takes too long to put them in a room. Why don't we just put everybody in a hall, but we put little dividers between them so nobody can see.
I thought for sure you were going to tell me that an Australian actually invented those little cardboard dividers that we voted in, and I was going to be like, wow.
What the fuck?
But yeah, no, the little hidden box that you fold your sheet of paper up so no one sees who you voted for.
Exactly. And they also made the decision to announce the results of the election after all the votes were counted, rather than the previous kind of hour by hour. Each place goes so-and-so's winning, and then everyone goes yay, or boo.
So that's what I'm saying. They need to do it after. Why are they... Okay, how are we back to hour by hour?
I imagine because of attention deficit issues. People are just I want to know now. But this new process seemed to work. There was significantly less voter intimidation, and guys weren't getting the shit beat out of them, so the secret ballot was deemed a success.
Hell yeah.
That same year, South Australia and Tasmania both legislated secret ballots, with South Australia deciding it would be easier to just put a cross next to the candidate you do want elected, rather than just scribbling out everybody else.
I was going to raise this, and I'm glad the state of South Australia did.
And South Australia was what if you just put a little X next to the one you want and you don't have to worry about the rest?
Oh, I hate not everyone who's not from South Australia not beating the allegations that they're the only smart state.
The rest of Australia adopted the secret ballot over the next decade. And after being adopted in the UK in 1872 and the US in 1884, it became the standard way of doing like democratic elections across like the Western world.
Yeah,
basically.
right.
So there were previously forms of secret ballots, but the difference is they weren't really secret ballots in
Right.
that one example was there were secret ballots in like the US, for example, but the paper that you would be voting on would be colored based on like who you voted for.
Oh,
so you'd have
right.
the yellow guy's slip and you'd put it in, or you'd have the green guy's slip.
And you'd
so
put it
people
in.
could be like, I can see who you're voting for, even though it was a secret.
All right, so
This is like the first kind of like full like, hey,
it's iteration.
nobody's
They've
like
closed the information gap that
Yes.
did previously exist, the potential for a leak. Because maybe it's like literacy rates improved so much.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like in
they're
Australia.
like, oh, you don't need to do like colors
we
and
don't
stuff
need to
based.
color
You can
code
just like
the thing anymore.
we expect you to be able to read to be able to do this. And again, this is because voting also at this point was also like just men and just landholding men.
Just
know?
landholding man.
The classics.
All my voters on a plantation.
So, thoughts on the secret ballot, Yanni? Do you think it was worth us inventing that in the 1800s, or should we have just stayed with the,
So
shout out your vote kind of thing?
I think in principle, I am so torn because it's hard to have a principle about this.
Yes.
Because I want the people that vote for the parties I don't like to have to tell everyone. No,
Fair.
that's not exactly right. But obviously, yeah, I can see why you don't want people getting beaten up.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we did it. I am kind of a little astounded that it's such a recent thing, the idea of a secret ballot, but I guess you do need widespread literacy to really do it.
True.
Well, I mean, you could have a little, like, closed room or whatever. But, fine. So I think I gotta hand it to him. I like the secret ballot. However, I maintain that the secret ballet is better.
You prefer the secret ballet?
Yeah, the secret ballet.
Damn. Have you ever been?
Well, I wouldn't be able to tell you if I had, obviously, but, let's just say you can infer that I've never been invited.
I've never been in fur.
And that's because I support Peter.
Who's Peter?
Oh, my friend Peter.
Oh, friend.
Oh, side piece.
Okay, there we go. Oh, Peter.
Yeah, you know Peter.
Oh, Peter.
Peter's not real, folks.
Harry Pete.
Harry Pete.
Anyway, all that ballot talk has made me hungry.
Oh.
But I don't want a democracy sausage. I want something a bit sweeter.
A Lamington.
Ah, a Granny Smith apple.
Was Granny Smith Australian?
Hey, Yanni, did you know that Granny Smith apples were first cultivated in Australia?
Are you joking? Really?
Yes.
We did that?
Yeah.
Well, not we.
You and I didn't do shit, but...
I don't know if even your family was here. Is that Granny Smith?
Yeah, that's Granny
That's
Smith.
Grandma Smith?
Yeah, have a look at her.
She's Australian?
Well, I mean, she's like... Okay, hang on. There's a bit of a legend about the whole, like, Granny Smith apple
Yeah.
situation.
When you bite into one, you can hear it.
You
hold
can
it up
hear
to
the
your
whispers
ear.
of old Granny Smith.
You get a word.
But basically, the story goes that Maria Ann Smith, who is pictured here,
Yeah.
a British immigrant to Australia, settles in Eastwood, New South Wales, which is now a part of Sydney's like northern suburbs, in 1838 with her husband and 5 children. The family lived a typical agricultural life, and like many of their neighbours, they were orchardists and made their living growing fruit. However, one fateful day in 1868, old Granny Smith, because everyone called her Granny when she got old, because she was
Yeah.
just like an old woman in the like, in
And
the
she,
1800s.
they had 5 kids. Those 5 kids probably had.
Had a whole host of kids.
Everyone's just like,
Pretty sure they
Granny.
had more kids when they got to Australia as well. She ended up, I think, having 9 in total, but like not all of them survived.
And
Anyway,
then she made these apples green.
and then these apples. So in 1968, Granny Smith threw away a crab apple that she'd bought from a local market by the banks of a creek that ran through her farm. It was a while later that she discovered a sapling growing in the spot she'd thrown away this apple and decided to cultivate the little tree to maturity. Now, Granny Smith herself would never live to see the eventual popularity of her weird little freak apples, because she died only a few years later, but her children would go on to propagate the apples further, and soon other orchardists were growing their own. It started out like being called like the Smith seedling, And then they all called them Granny Smiths after her. They were like, yeah, I also have some Granny Smith trees.
Yeah, I also had a Granny Smith.
Exactly.
She had a secret family.
So these Granny Smiths as well, like, for those who don't know what a Granny Smith apple is, it's a green apple.
I wonder.
They are crisp and tart in flavour, is how they're described. And they also have a really long shelf life for apples.
Yeah.
They take longer to go bad than other apples.
Yeah.
And also they can stay cut open without browning for longer than other apples as
Oh,
well.
yeah, that's true.
They're used a lot in baking because they are firm and hold their shape.
Yep.
So that was a big sell back in like the 1800s and stuff. Like all these farmers markets and fairs and festivals and stuff, people would be like these apples would be winning awards before they were recognized as like an actual like type of apple.
Well, they seem
People
like...
would be like, oh, this local green apple
Yeah.
is so good in pies. Like it grows amazingly. It's got a great flavor to it. Like people were like frothing on these apples.
And they don't have fridges.
And they don't have fridges.
So they
and
last
shit.
longer.
So they're just like, oh, you can just like ship these guys. You can put them on the shelf for
Yeah.
ages. It's
Yeah.
fine. So it's in 1895 that the New South Wales government begins getting interested in this apple because they're just like, okay, we're hearing a lot of talk about this apple. It's winning a bunch of awards and stuff like that. This one area is just growing shitloads of them.
What a different time.
You know?
Hey, the government's
The
investigating
government's
these
investigating apples.
The
I'm
government's
hearing
taking a
about this
look-
apple, see?
Government's taking a look at these funny colored apples winning awards.
Green apples in New Southern Wales.
What a quaint place.
You know? But basically they get really interested in them and they can see like the value in this like new type of apple. So they start organizing like the export of Granny Smiths internationally. And, you know, fast forward to now, you and I have a Granny Smith apple every day.
Every day. I love Granny Smith apples.
They're a great apple.
They're so good in baking.
Exactly. They're so good in baking. They're great in smoothies. We love a Granny Smith in a smoothie.
We love a Granny Smith in a smoothie.
That's for sure.
I'll eat one.
Yeah.
Just straight up, I'll eat a green apple.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And like
A grapple. Actually, we call them grapples.
we call them grapples in this house.
We call them Smith grapples. Smith Grapplesworth had the first prophecy in Australia. It was like, they're going to turn the apples green. See?
Turn the frickin' apples green.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that?
So the legend of this accidental creation. So like basically all that stuff about Granny Smith is true. Like she came here, like she's the one who found this sapling and like matured it, had the green apples. She dies because she's old and her family like starts growing them, and then the neighboring orchards are just like, that's really interesting. Can we have some? And they go like, yeah, sure. And so like, then they start growing them, and you know, everyone gives it the honorific of like a Granny Smith apple because they're like, well, it came from the Smith farm, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
old lady Smith like got the first batch, so everyone calls
Oh,
them Granny Smiths,
Smith.
you know? But the story of like how like whether it was like, you know, oh, she threw a crab apple and then all of a sudden it grew, like there is some scientific merit to that in that there's a like widely accepted theory, like people who've like done research on Granny Smith apples to work out their genetic origins, right?
Yeah, someone got a PhD.
Exactly, in like appleology or whatever. But the apple seems like it's going to derive from a chance hybridization between common domesticated apples, so like your standard red apple, and European crab apples.
Yeah.
So the idea of that crab apple being just tossed around, like in her orchard, I guess, where other seedlings and stuff could have been, like combining and then creating this one, like unintentionally, and then her being like, oh, this slap. And then from there on,
Yeah.
it just goes and goes. Which I think is pretty cool. Like,
I think that's pretty neat.
I didn't know that about the Granny Smith.
I didn't know that about the Granny Smith, and I feel like I should.
Right?
I feel like
this
we
is an
should-
Australian apple.
We're out here being like, oh, Nicole Kidman, Fred Holler. It's just like, we made the...
What about the apples?
What about the fucking Granny motherfucking Smith
What about
apples?
the fucking apples?
Grandma Smith. And also, hey, write in if you're listening and you don't know about green apples.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know who you are.
Yeah. Do you know about green apples?
You know about
'Cause
Granny Smiths?
They're quite good.
We want to hear from you. Shouldntacome@gmail.com if you don't know about Granny Smiths.
If you do know about them, don't talk to us. I'm not interested.
We know about it already.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We already know about
We
this
already
shit.
know about green apples.
Shut up.
Get the fuck out of
Get
my
the
house.
fuck out. Now, Yanni, there is only one vehicle I'd trust to move all of these apples. And it begins with a letter from a farmer's wife in 1932 to Ford Australia. And in it, she asks for, and I'll get you to read this out.
A vehicle to go to church on a Sunday and which can carry our pigs to market on Mondays. I've got you to read this quote out before.
Louis Thornton, on a different branch of the family, invented the ute in 1930.
No, he didn't.
Or in the 1930s. Apparently, he was responding to a request for a vehicle to go to church in on a Sunday and which can carry our pigs to market on Mondays.
What?
This was Adam Bandt's grandfather.
Oh, I was hoping it was.
Yeah, no, I told you about this when we did the Adam Band episode. His grandfather invented the ute. I got you to read. I have a slide that looks exactly like that. Yeah, she asked for a vehicle to go to church in on a Sunday and which can carry our pigs to market on Mondays.
And that's exactly right, Yanni. It was Lou Bant.
Yeah, he's like Adam.
Ancestrally Adam Bant's boy.
Maybe like an uncle, but like all the Germans who live in like the Barossa Valley invented the ute.
Yeah. He's a designer at Ford, and he set to work on creating the first coupe. Is it coupe or coupe utility?
It might just be coupe.
Fuck 'em.
I don't
As
know.
we know it in Australia, the ute.
Yeah, the ute. Yeah, the utility vehicle.
So the concept of a flatbed or tray in the back of an automobile isn't a new concept. They'd been fucking with the idea over in the US for about a decade, but the models that they created were open top or convertible, meaning the cab portion of the vehicle was either fully open or covered only by like a canvas. Ford Australia was the first manufacturer to create a two-door, fully steel cab with a tray at the back fully integrated into the body. So side note, you can see on the images that I have here.
Yes, Karen's put
Now-
some sick vehicles up.
I have. Most utes we see today aren't utes at all, taxonomically.
Taxonomically.
A true ute has
True.
an unbroken body, meaning there's no gap between the tray and the cab. If it doesn't have that, it's a pickup truck, not a ute. So you can see
Whoa.
here, that's a ute.
Yeah, so
That's not a ute.
So Kieran basically pointed out a Holden, I guess Commodore. It's the car where the ute tray has like a hood on it. It's basically like a huge boot. It's got the two seats. Everything is one color. It's all blue. On the right,
And it's one piece as well.
and it's one piece of metal the whole way around. On the right, you basically have your classic ute, which is the one that you see what you'd call a ute was actually a truck. And you have the front of a car, and then it just stops, and then there's a silver metal flatbed tray. So that's not a ute.
That's not what a ute
That's
is.
a
That's not a
pickup
classtic
truck.
ute. Exactly. That is a truck. That's a pickup
the
truck.
fact that those are called utes is kind of like a brand shifting idea.
Yes.
Because a ute is when it's all one piece of metal.
Yep.
God damn, I didn't.
That's
I-
a goddamn ute.
I thought we just called pickup trucks utes.
You know, and that's because colloquially now we kind of do.
Yeah.
Also, apparently we stopped producing like utes, like the classic ute, in 2017.
Are they worse?
I don't know.
I wonder if they're.
I don't know about that. I don't know about all that.
I wonder if they're just worse than pickup trucks.
Probably. I mean, probably repairing them is shit. Because, I mean, a car in two parts, you can replace one part easier, I suppose, than a car that's one part. You got to replace the whole part. Anyway.
No, that's a good point, actually.
But yes. Anyway, so around this time, other car manufacturers around the world are developing similar utility vehicles, and the ute basically explodes in popularity.
Yeah.
Like, everybody loves this shit. I think in Europe, it doesn't as much because everybody's more into vans, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta have like a little van in Europe to get through those little streets.
Exactly, but the kind of more like rural and regional and agricultural places where it's like, yes, you need to be able to go into town in a vehicle, but you also need to be able to use it out in the fields and stuff.
Yeah.
That's where the ute really like picks up and takes off.
Yeah.
For example, in Australia, rural communities embrace the ute wholeheartedly, and today we still see this dedication through time-honoured festivals like the Denny Ute Muster in Deniliquin.
Deniloquin.
We love
mentioned.
Deniloquin.
Shout out Deniloquin.
Shout
and
out.
to all the Deniloquins out there.
Yeah, to all the Deniliquins out there.
Yeah. We salute you.
Thoughts on the ute, Yanni?
I like the ute. I can't believe it came up, when it did. Adam Bant comes from a crazy lineage. I guess I'm really interested to know that there is a distinction, and I'm wondering if the fact that people aren't making and buying utes, as much as it's probably a story of the death of Australian manufacturing, are they just worse vehicles than the composite pickup truck?
I believe that's probably very much the case. Like,
Which is very funny to know.
crazy, right?
Because then they're like classic cars. I never really Yeah, I never really appreciated how a ute kind of looks like a car, but you flattened the back seats out.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and you just kept the front seats, whereas a pickup truck is like a little truck.
You know?
You probably put something bigger on a pickup truck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like how, like it's kind of cool. I didn't realize there was a distinction either until I was
No.
reading all about utes, and I was like, oh,
I
there's
wonder,
like,
I wonder how many people would respect that distinction if asked.
that's a good question. I feel like probably a true ute enthusiast might. I
True.
think like a troot anon.
How far did they go? Were there like Commodores in Colombia? Commodores and Comoros?
Damn, that's a crazy thing to say. I'm not sure because there were a lot of different ones made. So there was a big old list on Wikipedia when I was looking about like all the different models of ute that came out of different places.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I'm only like familiar with Australian utes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of crazy utes they have in different places.
You know, I think there were some pretty cool ones. There was some really cool like original utes.
Yeah.
I should have brought. Let me bring up a picture of like an original style.
Oh,
like
you
looking
didn't
ute.
need to do that while we're recording the audio podcast.
I can do what I like.
Yeah, you
Speaking
can
of-
actually. Yeah, let's see this picture.
So like old.
Oh, so if you basically just imagine an old car, like with the big wheel coverings and stuff and the little cab, and then you just flatten out the back and it becomes a ute.
Yeah.
It's pronounced Y-O-O-T, it says. The
Ute.
apparently there's a true history of the ute coming out. People are contesting the claims
Oh,
about Lou Bant.
unbelievable. They put dishonor on the Bant name.
Most modern utes aren't classic utes because the rear tub is separate from the cab structure, as we were saying.
It's a different breed of car at that point.
But apparently there was an early ute, a company called Volvo, Latin for I
roll.
roll. Really? Did you know that?
Yeah,
How did you know that?
I read it.
Were you reading about
I
ute
read it while I
history?
was reading about utes. Actually,
Damn, yeah. Well, that's what I know about utes.
Yeah.
No, but I like utes. I kind of want a ute.
it's kind of cool, right? Like a ute is really practical. Like especially like if you know someone with a ute, you know that they're probably getting asked like every other weekend, being like, "Hey man,
Can I do some
can I
stuff
just
with
like
it?
I just need to get this thing, but it won't fit in a car. Can you help me out?
Can I ute
You
your
know,
ute?
can I ute your ute?
Hey, can you yeet your ute over
I need
here?
to yeet your ute."
Can you yeet your ute at me?
Ploys.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Deniliquin Ute Muster, the Denny Ute Muster, which I've never attended, but
Oh, how I can't believe it.
Yeah.
You've never been.
Devo
How can you
that I've
not-
never been to the
Hey,
Denny
if you've
Ute
been to the Ute Muster, let us know.
Hey,
I want to
yeah, if
know,
you've
are
been
you
to
a
the Denny-
Ute Master?
Yeah, do you get to be a Ute Master at the Ute Muster?
Do you get to be a Ute Master at the Ute Muster?
Inquiring minds want to know. But something that you'd find at the Denny Ute Muster, or maybe just at your local,
To my local Ute Muster.
sorry, your local bottler,
Oh.
I'd like to introduce you to the Noble Fool's Drink, boxed wine, or as you and I know it better, goon.
Goon.
It's goon.
Hey, boxed wine was so popular at the Bengali parties growing up.
Hell yeah.
We'd just be booking out a primary school gymnasium, setting up a table with some boxed wine on
Filling
it,
that bitch
another
with
table
boxed
of
wine.
fucking takeaway, and just all the uncles just shambling around, kind of holding their hands up and, motioning and dancing.
Power to
Hell
'em.
yes, some goon. Not ever something I've liked to drink.
And fair enough. South Australian Thomas Angove was the first to put wine into a bag and then into a box way back in 1964.
He was the first guy to ever do it.
It's pretty crazy. However, the design was still a little bit clunky. The bag had to be cut open in the corner and then poured, after which it would be resealed with a purpose-made peg.
Oh yeah.
3 years later, however, Charles Malpas, described in his Wikipedia page as an Australian inventor and businessman, which I just don't trust.
No, an Australian inventor. He's coming up with something
like,
like
come
box
on, man.
wine.
Well, he's the one who develops the little plastic tap that we know and love on our goon bags.
Man, imagine this. The government's investigating apples. The new invention's a goon tap.
Exactly. I'm gonna peg this goon.
What a time to be alive.
Boxed wine was very profitable for businesses, especially those that were selling cheaper beverages, as they no longer had to pay for glass bottles, the manufacture and the transport of them, because they're heavier as well, right?
Damn.
Goon, which is what it's colloquially called, became a popular drink for younger and less affluent people. Mainly because it was ridiculously cheap to buy, and you'd get like 4 fucking liters of wine for $10.
Yeah, because they didn't need to pay for the glass.
Exactly. It's crazy. They were just like, shove it in a bag. Now, because of this, over time it became considered as a low-class beverage.
What?
Crazy.
Hey, y'all don't know what it means to be price conscious. This is
Price-conscious.
efficiency.
True.
We're trying to get like 75 people a little bit drunk.
Exactly.
We're spending
What
$15.
Yes. And that's the thing, right? Like, it's because it was cheap and, like, I feel like there were 2 types of, like, goon, right? And boxed wine. There
Yeah,
was
it was
boxed
white
wine
and
that was,
red.
like,
Sometimes it's blue.
back in my day, there were 2 types of boxed wine. There was the boxed wine that you could drink, like, with your family, and it was probably, like, a little bit nicer. Or there was
Come
the
on,
boxed
man, a
wine
little
you
bit
could get
nicer.
a little bit nicer. Or there was the boxed wine you buy when you're going to a house party and you want to be you want to be like soil yourself fucked up.
Yeah, it's like
You want to be like so unwell that you don't remember anything for 2 days. Like you want to be deeply fucked.
it's for fucking people up completely. That's the entire purpose.
Yes,
We're
yes.
basically discussing the difference between like a Mad Max in a mall and a Mad Max on an isolated highway.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly.
When we're talking about goon. Hey, this reminds me of in Russia, at some point, they developed a glass that didn't break. And the big soda companies didn't want it. Because they were like, how are we going to get the customers to buy as much if they have refillable bottles?
Fair. Well, that's the thing with everything, right? I saw a headline somewhere recently where it's like, somebody made like, the constant biodegradable plastic alternatives that people make and that we never hear about again.
Yeah, they come in, they go.
Because they're just like, mm-mm.
I saw a lot come across my desk at the co-op.
Yeah, I bet. I fucking bet. Internationally, though, boxed wine is not always considered to be trashy, right?
Yeah, they know what's up.
And post-COVID, there have been a handful of businesses trying to promote boxed wine as a more environmentally friendly and cost-saving option.
Environmentally friendly. Goon for the planet.
Goon for the planet. Hey guys, I know it's taken on a new meaning, but I would like you to goon for the planet.
Goon for the planet.
Goon for the planet. And of course, I would be remiss to say nothing of Goon of Fortune, a classic Australian party game.
Hey, it's an Australian invention on an Australian invention.
Yeah.
You really couldn't come up with it anywhere else.
You really couldn't, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the kind of drinking games that get you, like, really, like, just obliterated really do just come from this stupid fucking island.
A lot comes from this dumb island where
Really
it's just
funny.
like, oh, we really just want to forget everything about our history and how we got here as quickly as possible. We just want to be in the moment.
I got, like, half a concussion playing Goon of Fortune.
Damn. Yeah, right, like a big guy hit you.
No.
That's right.
What happened was, Goon of Fortune for the
someone
uneducated.
attached you to the hills hoist.
Someone just lifted me up while it was spinning
That's
around, and I got
right.
fucking clocked in the head by this mass. Anyway, so Goon of Fortune, for those who aren't aware, I hope you know about it, but if you don't, allow me to elaborate, is where you pull out the bag of wine from boxed wine, and you hang it up with some pegs on the end of a hills hoist washing line, which is the one that's shaped like a square, and then you spin it around.
The normal washing line.
The normal washing line for here. you
Any
know?
other kind of washing line is wrong.
Exactly. Fucked up and weird. And you spin it around, and whenever it, like, stops, it's like wine roulette, basically. Whoever it stops on then has to take a big swig of the bag, and then you go again. You spin it again. Whoever it lands on, you have to take a big swig of the bag.
Yeah.
And it's just a really good way to have a really bad night.
Well, it's just a process of passing around a bag of alcohol. But
Yeah,
just,
with, like, what the added, like, implication of
just
chance.
The sheen of a game.
Just knowing, like, well, yeah, the game is whose turn is it to drink the alcohol.
the game is just
There's
whose
no
turn.
skill.
Like when you go to, like, you know, there's like drinking games with like cards and stuff.
Yeah.
Or even beer pong.
Yeah, where
You
there's
know,
got some,
There's
like,
something to it. Goon of Fortune is like, we got to play Goon of Fortune. It's like, play.
it's like, whose turn is it to
What do you
drink
mean
now?
play?
That's exactly
Who's on defense?
who's on defense. We're all defending our lives tonight. But as you can see in these images here, I have a classic box of Goon, one that
of
you'd be
Goon.
very familiar with, and the fancier type. I saw somewhere in California they're selling like what would have been like, 100 and I saw a quote somewhere. It was like They're selling a $112 bottle of wine. They've moved it to boxes and they now sell it for like $85. And I'm like, $85 boxed wine?
$85 boxed wine. It's
And
a
it looks kind of
steal.
like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean this goon is in like a cylindrical container, has a little handle on it. It's not a cube. It's not a rectangular prism. It's a cylinder. It looks like it would contain like an extremely expensive candle that you could buy from
Yeah.
Diptyque in Paris or something like that. But instead, it's wine. Because I guess the thing is, baby, hey, they don't tell you this, but you can kind of put the wine in whatever.
Yeah.
You can kind of put the wine in whatever.
Yeah. And the bag I found out about as well, like the bag they put it in,
Yeah, the goon bag.
the goon bag, as it were, because of the tap that
Yeah.
was invented by Charles, businessman and inventor.
Yeah. He invented
Because
this
it
tap.
keeps the wine in there like almost not quite airtight, but reasonably airtight. It stops it from like oxidizing, which is what makes wine go bad.
Oh, when you open the
So-
bottle.
Yeah, so instead of
Ah.
like an open bottle of wine, which you can kind of only keep for a few days, like you can open goon, like you can pour a little bit out, have some, and the rest of it'll keep for like the rest of the week. Like it lasts a lot longer without turning bad because of the way that it's stored.
Yeah, right.
Which is like in a dark
Well, that makes
bag with
sense,
very
yeah.
little access to light.
Is it a bag in a box? You're not actually like letting the
You're not really letting
wine
air
be
in,
exposed, yeah.
you're letting goon out, you know? So it makes it
hey,
more
goon out.
goon out. Goon out, everybody. And the message of today's episode is goon out.
Goon out with your burnout.
Now, there is nothing like a big bag of goon and a big bunch of tunes. So I think we need some music in this bad boy.
What did we invent?
And that brings us to
The Fairlight CMI digital sampler. Huh.
That's correct. So you'll need to bear with me on this one because I'm bad with the detail, and I know you, Yanni, specifically, will have some more like expertise in this kind of thing than me, but I'm going to do my best to kind of explain it.
All I really have is that I've heard of this.
Yes, perfect. All right. Did you know that one of the earliest electronic music workstations with a sampler was developed in Sydney in the 1970s?
I didn't know that.
Well, you're about to find out. This is a very machine that is credited with the term sampling in music, which is pretty fucking cool, right? All right, so
Wow.
this is the Fairlight CMI, created by Kim Ryrie and Peter Vogel, two high school classmates who came together in their 20s through a love of music and technology with the aim to create what they called the world's greatest synthesizer.
Hell yeah.
They collaborated with Tony Firth, a man who'd built a digital synthesizer at the Canberra School of Electronic Music using recently developed microprocessors, which is crazy that Canberra is
Canberra
mentioned in
School
this.
of Electronic Music?
Yeah.
We had a Diplo school.
Yeah,
we
I
had a
think
fucking
so.
Skrillex High.
Yeah.
We had Avicii, like Kids Arms or whatever. We had orphanages to turn people into
Name another
David
one. Go on.
Guetta.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
We had dead mouse colonies.
Yeah. We've got dead mouse colonies.
We had Tiesto Academy.
Anyway, yeah, so Tony basically kind of using like the most recent type of microprocessor that had been developed was also like incorporating that into something to create sounds, and it was able to hold like a lot more memory basically and had a lot more power than what was kind of being used at that time, right? And he was like developing this in collaboration with like the university. So Kim and Peter, they hear about this development and they're super excited. They're like, oh, interesting. Because what they're doing is, I think they're a lot more on the music side of things than on the technology side of things. So they're just like, oh, that sounds like a lot more of what we're after.
Match
right?
made in heaven.
Exactly. So what they do is they license Tony's design so they can continue like developing stuff using the technology that he's already kind of put in. Because while Tony's synthesizer was like good, right? Like it was like the most advanced for that point, it wasn't able to replicate the sounds of musical instruments in an authentic way. And it was described at the time as being like a sterile emulation. Like you could kind of understand what it was trying to emulate, but it didn't sound like
So
that
like an
at all.
impression of a trumpet that a computer
Exactly.
could make, as opposed to the goal, which is to sound like a trumpet player played it.
Exactly that, yes.
Coming out of a fucking Game Boy or something.
You know? So yeah, Kim and Peter, they continue developing their own design, but the realism of the sounds was still kind of hard to get to, right? Like it was still kind of impossible for them to get a sound that felt authentic to what it was trying to emulate. And they considered that recording a real instrument would be cheating. But then that's kind of what they decided to do in the attempt to kind of understand how that sound worked. They would record actual instruments and like try to break down like the harmonic, like what was happening and the tones and stuff like that.
All the sound waves and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, all the
then
bits.
inevitably they were just like, fuck, it's just easier to record the thing.
We have
then
all these files.
And then we can play around with it once we've got it, right? And it's this process of recording a real instrument into their synthesizer to then like modify and play with. They call it sampling.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so they basically then, in the process of trying to make a keyboard that can make fake sounds sound real, they've done the next best thing, which is a keyboard that plays a bunch of real sounds.
Yes.
And they're like, now we need to make these sounds happen without having the sounds of the sounds. And someone's like, this is.
I mean, this is basically what we kind of.
So this is what you're trying
right?
You're trying
Like
to make exactly what you've made.
In a different way, like.
But another thing, but like you want the same outcome that you have right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well.
So the first prototype of the Fairlight CMI gained a fair amount of interest from both the Australian music industry as well as technology spheres. In the UK, the Musicians Union called the Fairlight and machines like it to be a lethal threat to its members.
I mean, hey, what sampling did to every time an art progresses, there's a set of people who are professionals, so often unionized professionals, in a form of that art that some aspects of it will be made obsolete by the new form of the art, and they will always rightly complain that their jobs are being threatened, because they are.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works.
That is progress, unfortunately.
Yeah, because now, people who make music, and they're right to say so, but people who make music largely with samples are like, oh, AI is going to replace my role in the ecosystem. It's like, it will.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it will.
That's kind of what's happened.
Yeah, it's that it will. Hey. Talk to a portrait painter in the 1800s after photography gets developed or whatever. It's just like
a photographer after digital
digital
art
media.
is created,
Absolutely, yeah.
Anyway, so the big breakthrough for the Fairlight CMI is when Peter and Kim loaned the machine to Peter Gabriel, an English musician who I've heard his name before. I don't know any of his songs, I don't think, but
he's in Crosswords a lot. That's
makes
all I know
sense.
about him.
But basically, Peter Gabriel is so impressed by this, he creates a whole business to distribute Fairlights in the UK to other artists and companies and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the Fairlight CMI is used by Kate Bush, Hans Zimmer, Stevie Wonder, and a host of other artists, as were its subsequent models. Like one of Kate Bush's albums, Never Ever something or other.
Never, ever, ever getting back together.
Yeah, that's the one. Was the first studio album to ever use the Fairlight and synthesize drum beats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. And another fun fact for you, which is really cool. Two fun facts. One, it's called Fairlight because that's the name of the ferry that would go past Kim and Peter's workshop at Kim's mum's house.
And they were just like, "Oh,
we'll call it the
that."
Fairlight, and CMI for computer made, instrument or whatever.
Is the Fairlight still in operation?
Not a clue.
I wonder if it is.
Not a clue. And the second fun fact, which I thought was pretty cool, is a Fairlight CMI was used to make the Rugrats theme.
Yeah, right. And it's got a bunch of different noises in it.
Yeah.
That all sound like real instruments. It's basically based on that kind of xylophone sound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could make it real spooky. Anyway, thoughts on the Fairlight CMI?
I am astounded that such a thing was invented in Australia.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, those musicians were absolutely right. If you trained your whole life to play an instrument, oh, whoops, no one gives a shit anymore. You ain't getting no jobs. Motherfucker, we put your whole life into this keyboard, motherfucker. Look, I've just pressed bassoon. Look, press bassoon. Oh, what, you play the violin? Hey, I just press violin. Now I play the violin.
You fucking idiot. You were born in the wrong year.
You were born in the wrong
Get
generation.
born earlier, cunt.
What do you play? You play the sousaphone? Oh, I'll just press
Too bad, let me
sousaphone
just-
over here, and then I'll just press the bitches and money button over here, and I'll just press the trap door, and all these musicians fall into the crocodile pit. Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, so like, I thought that was pretty cool. I had no idea about this one.
I love that. I use a sampler
I do that.
all the time.
Yeah. Cool, huh? So anyway, these 3 photos that I have here, it's the Fairlight 1, 2, and 3.
Basically, it looks like a keyboard. The first 2, at least. The third one looks like a computer keyboard. Doesn't have the piano keyboard. But the first one looks kind of like an organ. It's like a 2-layer keyboard with a computer keyboard on top of it, and then a television screen that I assume shows what it has.
Yeah, this is something called like, what was it called? Light pen technology?
Light pen.
Where basically like, what would display on there is kind of like a visualizer of the sound.
It's an audio visualizer, yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
like what the, like, now you have a computer program that does the
that,
visualization.
yeah, exactly.
But just like an integrated monitor to show that. And then they got rid of the second keyboard, and then they got rid of it being a keyboard altogether and became a computer.
Yeah,
You probably get an attachment.
I imagine so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hey, sampling's a big part of all the music that I like.
Yeah.
You know, sorry to all those musicians.
Whatever, but I guess that
Sorry if you
lethal
learned
threat.
to play the flute or something, but I just press flute, and now look at me.
And now fucking look. Okay, so we've learnt about the Woomera, the Secret Ballot, Granny Smith apples, Utes, Goon, and the Fairlight CMI.
Yeah.
So now I'll ask you again, Yanni. What's your favourite invention of all time? And is it still the pallet and pallet jack?
After learning about these 6 inventions, I am going to have to say that it's obviously boxed wine. No, I think the big thing about this is, hey, you're trying to get those ballots from the high school to the distribution center. Mm-hmm. Probably going to put it on a pallet.
Probably going to put it on
Put
a pallet.
those boxes on the pallet. You got fruit going out. They got fruit on a truck going to Woolworths. Probably going to put it on a pallet.
Put it on a pallet.
Someone's ute's broken down.
Gonna put it on a pallet.
Gonna put it on a pallet. Hey, you're delivering alcohol to Woolies. Gotta put it on a pallet.
Gonna probably put it on a pallet.
Hey, you got a Fairlight CMI. You're trying to
Trying to move that thing?
move that thing.
Probably gonna want to put it on
You're
a
probably
pallet.
gonna want to put it on a pallet.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's all I had. That's all I had for you.
The Woomer
so-
is awesome.
Yeah.
I think I love throwing. Throwing's great.
A
I'm a
great
big
thing.
fan of throwing. I think you should always, like, don't be scared as an adult to just throw sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it can be really liberating to throw something.
It feels great, and it does remind us on what it is to be human.
Yeah, and it's important to not just throw in anger.
Yes.
Like, you know how they say, like, oh, you know, if you box to relieve stress, then you'll learn that when you're stressed, you should
You need
hit
to box,
something.
yeah.
You need to be it's like meditating as well. You need to just be throwing sometimes. When you
Yeah.
get the opportunity to throw something into a bin,
yeah, if
throw
you feel
something in a wall.
If you feel the impulse
Throw up.
to... Yeah, throw up. Fuck you.
Fucking throw up.
See if I can.
Throw
But
it,
yeah,
you
you
just-
absolutely should. You know,
Yeah.
when you see that, you see something like perhaps a nice stick, a well-shaped rock.
Yeah.
And you think, what would happen if I threw this? Find out.
Find out.
Find out.
Give it a kick if you like.
Hey, kick it. Kick rocks.
Kick
I'm
the
telling you
fucking
to
rocks.
kick rocks.
I'm telling you to kick rocks. But like, yeah, you see something, you see a bin, you want to throw something in the bin. So I really like any tool that changes throwing as well, because I like when people mix it up.
Of course.
You know, and this is pretty cool. It's kind of like a javelin holster.
Yeah, it's just like... whoosh.
Yeah. Oh man, they go crazy on this. You give all the kids one of these. In school.
They're dangerous.
They'd kill each other.
Yeah.
They'd spear each other to
Regular
death.
javelin throwing at school was bad enough.
Back when I was in school, only 3 kids died during javelin.
Let's bring that up to 5.
Let's get that to 5 a year. Out of these inventions, the one that's impacted my life the most is the Fairlight CMI.
Fair.
I think from the implication of what it led to in terms of other synthesizers, I've never actually used one or I think anything from the company, but I've heard the name. So there's that. I've never really had Goon that much. We have green apples every day, though.
We do have green
They're
apples
pretty
every day.
big.
We wouldn't have that if it wasn't for Maria Smith.
We wouldn't have that if it wasn't for Granny Smith. Like, the secret ballot... Look, the secret ballot solves some problems and creates other problems. At the end of the day, that's the fact of the matter. But also, those problems are like perspectives. Like, I obviously have a problem that somebody can like walk around the neighborhood and vote for someone who's really racist, I guess. But also, that person doesn't know. But also, like, they can just be racist and not vote for a racist party. Would that be better? Is it like through secret ballots? Like you lose the element of shame. People don't talk about their political beliefs at all, and I think they should talk about their political beliefs. And that leads me to be wary of the secret ballot, even though it mechanically makes a lot of sense in preserving people's safety when they're trying to vote. But it is also part of the system of stifling political discussion, but not inherently itself.
Exactly, right? Like it set out to solve a problem that was an issue with the former way of like voting.
Yeah.
And I do think it solved that problem. It's just like it hasn't solved the problem of like voting in general, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there are other issues involved now. It's like, yes, people can vote safely and you don't have to tell anybody, like you can't be compelled to tell anybody what your vote is, right?
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
for some people is going to be great.
Yeah.
And then the bad part is you can't be compelled to tell your vote to anybody.
Yeah, you can't be
which is
compelled to
like,
tell your vote to
you know,
anybody.
it's the two sides, right?
And you're like, it's in itself not necessarily bad. The fact that you have many societies in which apoliticality is, you feel like top shit when you're apolitical. I used to kind of be like I'd say I was apolitical.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I would absolutely say I was
Apolitical era
apolitical.
Yanni.
Back when I was like 17, 18, 20 or whatever. But
Hey, what were your opinions on love at that age?
different to what you're referring to. But now I'm back around to it's a chemical reaction, and that's fine.
Sexy.
Everything in our body is a chemical reaction. It's not always chemical. Sometimes it's like electrical.
Oh?
In the brain, that's like electricity.
Endocrinological?
Yeah, there's like chemistry happening in there, probably. Even in the electricity. But I definitely, like, I think you can be apolitical and kind of believe whatever you want. I think saying you're apolitical is a good way to get out of trying to explain, like, that you don't know anything about politics.
That's the gentleman's clause to get out of a political conversation. Being like, well, no, I'm simply apolitical.
I'm simply apolitical. It's just like, well, like,
So you don't have to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm a moron. I don't
know what
this.
everyone's fucking policies are.
Yeah, I don't.
And politics is intentionally complicated. Not intentionally, but the complexity of politics is one thing that makes it inaccessible.
It works in favor of the politicians.
It works
to
in
have a
favor
complex
of
system.
the politicians. It works in favor of the powers that be. And obviously, you know which group of people I'm talking about. You, the humble listener to Shouldn'ta.
You pieces of shit.
No, you're shaping the society for the better. I'm so proud of you all.
And speaking of that,
oh, and that seems like it's going to be our episode. Hey, what about the best Australian invention, the Shouldntacome podcast with Kieran and Yanni? We're gonna shake hands. We're gonna shake hands.
We've done it.
That was weird.
I didn't like it.
You held my hand like you were gonna kiss it daintily.
Well, yeah,
like,
because
to demonstrate
that
you're
was
a
like my
gentleman.
natural reaction
But
for
we're, like,
holding your
making a
hand.
deal,
Yeah, but like my natural reaction.
Put him there,
when
champ.
you-
Put
when
him there,
you-
champ.
No, but like
Put
when
him there,
you- when-
champ. Come on. I'm making Kieran shake my hand. Yes, we did a handshake. Oh no, now he's kissed it.
Yeah, that's how I do all my business deals. I shake hands firmly and then I give it a little kiss.
A little smooch.
For good luck.
If you want to give us a kiss for good luck, you can do so at patreon.com/shouldntacome. One subscription equals one kiss.
You can game the system, subscribe and unsubscribe, and then subscribe again. I will honor the amount of kisses.
We'll get so many kisses. Shouldntacome@gmail.com is our email address. YouTube.com/@shouldntacome if you want to see pictures of utes and other things like that. Shouldntacome is spelled in all cases SHOULDNTACOME, like the name of the podcast you're listening to. We will be back next week with something else, perhaps the Royal Commission, which I've been reading about. I'm reading all of the witness testimony. I've just got to Gillian Siegel.
Oh, lucky
You know what I've learned? There's 4 types of anti-Semitism and also 4 buckets of Jews. That's the term she used. Buckets.
Excuse me?
She's like, there's 4 buckets of them.
I don't think she can say that. I don't care whether she's Jewish or not.
So I want all my buckets out there to have a wonderful week. Thank you very much, Kieran, for bringing us this little look into lesser-known Australian inventions, and one that I already told you.
Told Ute.
Told you. Tell your Utes you love them, and hey, you know what they say back in Toronto? Fam, stay listening, shouldn't have come.
Ute.